Hi, everybody. How are you this morning? I'm just going to angle the camera just a smidge. How are you on this beautiful Monday morning, November 7th? It's a lovely day here. I just went for a nice walk with my dog. I feel really good about, finally being settled in my new home. For those of you whose first time it is, my name's Tanya Baldwin, and I am the owner of the company Mind, Body, Spirit, Healthy Self. I'm a trauma wellness healer, an intuitive, and a registered nurse. I help people navigate through their trauma and mental health using holistic practices and some that people would consider to be woo-woo. I would like to banish the word woo-woo. I think that the spirituality is something that's been around for a really, really, really long time. And we just need to embrace it more, be more open to it. So I've pulled some cards already, and at the end of the reading for, good morning, Diana. At the end of the reading for the collective, I open it up, and if you want a card, just let me know your name, just in case I can't see it, because with broadcasting through StreamYard to multiple locations, I might not be able to see your username. It might just say Facebook user, for example. So if you want a card, stay tuned and just ask for one at the end of the reading for the collective. So we are really close to the full moon. The full moon in my area actually peaks at 4:02 a.m. on November 8th. So this coming morning at 4:02. And the evening, I will be, good morning, Connie. In the evening, I will be in the Divine Feminine Healing Collective, where I will be doing a full moon ritual. Now, this is a full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus, and it's a blood moon. It's also known as the beaver moon. So I will tell you more about that tomorrow night in the group and post some content for sure. So if you're not a part of the Divine Feminine Healing Collective, the only prerequisite is it's for feminine only. Unfortunately, that's just the way that I felt the group should be structured. So let's start with the reading for the collective. I'm interested to find out what these cards say all together, what the message is. So the first card that I pulled was All That Glitters, and number 16, which would be also a 7. This is a beautiful, beautiful card. So let's see what the meaning is. I can see your name now. I can, Connie. I love it. Beautiful. So all that glitters, the essential meaning, a need to see beyond the superficial, the desire to don a mask or dress something up to disguise its true nature, trying to be something you're not, chasing after every sparkly new thing, being mercurial. The oracle's message: it's only human to want to adorn oneself in trinkets, paint a pretty picture of oneself. It's natural to want to acquire the trappings of status or to deny them as a statement of rebellion. But if it sparkles, is it better? Whether it's a fast car, a big house, a title or position, the stamp of authority, or the sparkling of diamonds, these icons let you know something about a person, place, or thing. Or do they? The truth is that people seek to acquire things because of what they will do for them and how they symbolically will elevate them and make them more attractive. This card signals that it's time to see beyond the adornments and probe underneath the surface. Learn to recognize the masks people wear and the motives underlying them. Imagine that all that glitter is gone. Would you still desire the object or person? It's a really good question there, right? Is the only reason that the desire exists because you think that in society that has a high value, or that elevates your status in some way. So for a relationship message, sometimes we try to become something we're not to impress others. We embellish a story a bit. We add some dramatic elements to make us more appealing. The real person becomes hidden behind the sparkle and shine. Then there are times when we don't see the true value of someone else because he or she may not have the glitz and glamour that seemed so desirable. Now is the time to look past the surface, beyond the mask, to the essence of a person. Who that person is, not what he or she can give or has to give you, is important. See beyond the glitter and look for the inner glow. Use the eyes in your heart, let go of the artifice, and let what is authentic shine. And I talk about this in relationships all the time about, when you start out a relationship and you're like, oh, I love sports and I love, racing and, I'm totally into working out. I am a gym rat, like total gym rat. And then, a couple of months into the relationship, it's like, I actually don't like sports, or I'm actually, like, I'm more of a casual workout. Like I work out maybe once, every other day if I'm lucky, if it works, and then you find out that that's not who the person really is. Coming into a relationship, being as authentic as possible is going to mean that the relationship is going to be as authentic as possible. When we come into a relationship, and we bring in all of those fears of being seen, or saying, if somebody goes, oh, I love, rock and roll, or my favorite band is, Tragically Hip. My favorite band's the Tragically Hip. And another person's like, oh, I can't stand them. Right. But for some of us, we don't feel like we can actually say that because we're worried that we'll be rejected because we have a difference in opinion, or a different or a different set of values. And what we don't recognize is that by being authentic to ourselves and standing up for that, if that person doesn't resonate with us and they leave, well, that's all for the better, because that means we're not sitting in a false relationship for a long time, right? Trying to figure out how did we get here? How do we get out of this now? Or, like, you don't want to I'm going to pretend to be somebody that I'm not. And then 2 years later, you're trying to figure out why you're in a relationship that's not fulfilling, and where, you're in this situation with somebody that's not like you at all. Right. Just be you and hold true to that. And don't allow yourself to be, be swept away by the outer appearance, or, like if they drive a flashy car, they have a big job. There's a thing that I've heard in the whole Tinder sphere, or like online dating, is the 3 6s, that women are out there looking for the 3 6s, 6 figures, 6 feet tall, and a 6-pack. I'm not like that. But it's interesting that that's a statement now, that's what people are looking for. And I've heard from many men talking about, their online dating experience, and how, there's a lot of, push, like what like the first question out of people's mouths after hello is, so what do you do for a living? So then they can determine what value to assign to you, or how much credit to give you. Right. I'm not going to date somebody if they work a normal job. Like, you have to have like some seriously sick job for me to be interested in you. And it's such a vain and inauthentic way to be. So this is what this card is talking about, is being in your authenticity. Hello from Texas. So the prosperity message: sometimes an opportunity looks so good that it glitters like gold, and you just can't resist it. So sometimes an opportunity looks so good that it glitters like gold, and you just can't resist it, especially when it appears others are doing so well and have hit the mother lode. During the American gold rush, everyone hurried west to find their fortune, and then deserted entire towns after the mining depleted the gold veins in the earth. So too, oops, excuse me, always comes in twos for me. Um, then deserted entire, bless me. I would bless you if I heard you sneeze. So I'm going to bless myself and divert. So too can you deplete yourself as you chase after the latest shiny thing that has caught your eye. There is mercurial quality to your present circumstances. Pay no attention to those who chase after fool's gold. Resist the temptation to be jealous of others. What they have achieved may not be the true success you seek, so don't compare yourself to them. You see only the surface right now, only the sparkle. Be assured that you will experience your own shining moment if you stick to what you know. All that glitters may not be gold for you. It could be fool's gold, right? Not even real gold. So that was a good message, right? About just, being authentic and to look at what's underneath the surface, right? Not just get caught by the outer shine. So the next card that I pulled was number 53, Stranger. And it is talking about curiosity. So the stranger moves, so moving past the fear of differences, the other, curiosity and acceptance. The stranger moves through the world in a shroud of darkness that often elicits fear, rejection, and uncertainty, as the danger of the unknown defines its very presence. Yes, there is a veil of separation between you. Look closer and summon the courage to remain open to what you might find. You may be conditioned to look only for what mirrors what is safe and known to you, refusing to entertain any concept of other beyond something to fear. In order to broaden your world and your experience of it, you must refute the illusion that sameness is the only way. Nothing you expect externally matches up with the other, and you're challenged by your own inexperience. But don't miss this opportunity for learning. Something extraordinary is being offered to you now if you remain curious and teachable. Allow the newness to develop you as you explore the possibilities. This is a departure from your expectations, but the stranger has come to invite you to dance to a new music, a new tempo, a new sensation that will add more dimension to you and what you create as a result. Now is the time to leave room for other points of views, other ways of seeing with humility and grace. This is a defining moment. Take the risk. Life is like a precious diamond with many facets, not just one. So again, we're looking at making sure that you're not just getting caught up in what the initial is, that you're actually taking the opportunity to see what lies underneath, right? So before it was getting caught up in that trapping of the glitter, right? What it appears to be may not be what it is underneath. And the same thing, the stranger may look fearful because he's unknown, or he may have a different perspective, a different mindset, look different than you, right? And that, there's this, so my girlfriend and I, before I left Alberta, we were like, oh, let's find something cute to watch, or something just quick to watch for the last little bit of time that we were there. Hi, I don't know who said, hey, Tanya, but hello. If we don't, or anyway, so we decided, hey, let's, for fun, just because it's, kind of what you would consider to be trashy television. At least I would, but that's my own opinion. But we decided to watch the latest season of Love is Blind. And I never watched any of the previous seasons. I don't really watch TV. But we decided just for the last little bit before I left Alberta that we would watch this show together. And, the whole premise of the show is that you don't see the person, you're just talking to them based like through this pod setup. So each person is in their own pod and you can just hear the person, you can't see them. So you get to learn about them and experience them emotionally and learn about what their value system is without the trappings of how tall are they? How, what do they look like? What is their skin color? What is their culture? Like any of those things, they're not there. So it really takes away that, that person that's a stranger that looks different to you, because maybe the person who looks different is actually the person that you're supposed to be aligned with, but you wouldn't give them that a possibility if you don't allow yourself to look past the surface, right? So look past the surface. Now, the tarot card that I pulled was the Two of Swords. We've pulled this girl before, definitely. I've pulled her many times. I still don't know who said, hey, Tanya. If you wouldn't mind, let me know your name. Then I can say, hey, back. I mean, besides just saying, hey, hey. So, Two of Swords, stalemate, a crossroads, making a difficult choice, opposing ideas or options, choosing the best route of action, memory and thought. In the shadow seer position, it would be a difficult choice, confusion, the angst of the unknown between a rock and a hard place, fear of commitment. You know that feeling of not knowing? Can you put your name down? I saw that you asked, could you pull a card for me? But I just see Facebook user. So if you wouldn't mind just putting your name down, because that helps when I'm pulling cards. So you know that feeling of not knowing? It's time to make a choice, and it may seem like you're between a rock and a hard place. If you can't decide which way to go, it's because you can't see the bigger picture yet. The Two of Swords is whispering that you must move in one direction. Twos are about decisions. It's about making a decision between one or the other. So that's why this card came up, is you're making a decision. And maybe part of that decision that you're making is being aware that don't just get invested in the one that's glittering and shiny, that's, calling you to it because you're seeing all of that shine and it's making you think that it's really, really valuable. There may be something in one of the decisions that's being made that is strange and different, but remain curious, because as long as the values and, the underlying truth or authenticity is there, they may teach you something new. Learn with, lead with that curiosity. If your intuition has fallen unusually silent, it's asking you to trust yourself and your ability to discern and decide. Even in blindness, you already know the best way forward. When you act, the future will reveal itself and it will help you to move toward your dream. Have faith the universe is serving you the right experience. At the crossroads of duality, your analysis and overthinking will just get you buried in the quicksand of a million possible endings. So find peace of mind by trusting your judgment. When blinded by the unknown, I can trust myself to move toward the light. So I think that's really, whoever this message is for, that's what it's really saying, is you're making a decision between these two, and maybe the one that seems unusual and different has this, that you're just a little bit afraid to go in that direction, and you're thinking more of going in this direction because what it represents society wise, maybe it looks, really appealing, or it looks like the value is there, but it's what's underneath. It's what's in the shadow. It's what is the unknown. It's trusting yourself and trusting your intuition and knowing that, to pay attention. What is the real value there? It's not just what all glitters and shines. There's the underlying value that you need to pay attention to. So, Shams, I will pull a card for you, of course. So I hope that general reading was very opening for somebody, or that it resonated with somebody. If it doesn't resonate with you, just let it go. It might not have been a reading for you today, or it might not have been relevant for you. If you do want a card, hi, Linda. I'm good. I'm actually really good this morning. I've been working on establishing my routines in my new home environment. And today I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I stayed in bed for a little while, just in almost a meditative state. I got up and I had a meditation this morning, took my dog for a walk. I'm prepared after this to hopefully work out, do some yoga. That's what I work out with. Sometimes I lift weights, but for the most part, my working out is yoga and walking. I like those two as my forms of movement. I like doing other things like kayaking and, water sports, but it's getting a little bit cold in the year for water sports. Although I suppose I could go kayaking. Yeah, so it felt good to be a little more in tune with the new environment this morning, I guess would be the way. So for Shams, and if anyone else wants a card, just let me know your name, because a lot of times I can't see the name. I just see Facebook user. Just let me know your name and that you'd like a card pulled, and I will pull a card for you. And this first card is for Sham. I hope I'm saying that correctly. So the card that I pulled is number 5, and it's called Orphaned. And I pulled it in the protection state, so upside down or inverted. So I will read this message to you. She's sitting on top of what looks like a tree stump with a nest, and she's wearing a bird's mask and sitting inside the nest. That's how the picture looks. So let's see what our message is. And the number is 5. So you can always look up numerology for number 5 and see if you can find another meaning within that. But for this card pull, I'm going to read the essential meaning. I'm so proud of you for that. I am so proud of you for that, my love. So essential meanings: a sense of loss, an identity crisis, recognizing that you don't fit in, the need to belong, uncertainty about your place. The Oracle's message: we were all meant to have connections with people within our families, society, and the larger culture. No man is an island, and it's important to recognize when being a part of, rather than separate from, is essential to your well-being. The issue at hand is the need to find where you fit. Be true to your core truths and values. Perhaps you no longer identify with a group or community the way you did before and need to find a new situation. You might be feeling a deep sense of loss or confusion. Address the need for belonging and know that you will find your place with others of like mind and spirit. It's okay to let go of the pressure to fit in. Not everyone will understand you. It's time to move on. Now, the protection message, because I pulled it in the protection state. The shadow side of this card speaks to the essence of abandonment. Perhaps you feel a need to remain apart because intimacy is too threatening. It also warns against creating inappropriate family structures in order to conceal old wounds. It's a time to address the unhealthy alliances you formed and make a decision to heal the past. You will not be abandoned by the world if you claim yourself as whole. Not all relationships are dysfunctional, and not all of them will disappoint you. Don't abandon yourself. You can connect to others in a healthy way once you recognize your patterns and consciously choose to interrupt them. Life wants to love you. Let it. So that was the pull for Shams. That's a pretty hard message, but it's one that, I think we all get to eventually, or, some of us, maybe we don't have to because we weren't, raised in unhealthy home environments or, have had those unhealthy or toxic relationships in our life. But I went through when I was going through my healing journey, I went into a state where I just kept reminding myself that the only one that can abandon me is me. And I do so by not upholding who I am authentically, by not loving myself and not putting in boundaries around situations in my life, right? If I don't uphold my boundaries, then I abandon myself. So that might be something for you there. So if somebody else wants a card, just let me know. I don't see anyone having put down other than Sham that wants a card. I will check my phone to check some of the areas that I broadcast to make sure that I'm just not missing the message. And before I go, I would love to pull a card for you, Linda. Just give me, I'm going to do 2 seconds. I'm going to grab my coffee to grab a sip. I forgot it at the coffee pot. Did you feel like that card did not reflect the message, or did you want a message? Did you want an additional card to kind of give some clarity to that message? Because maybe that message didn't sit well with you, or you feel like there's some information missing. Hi, Amanda. Glad I caught you in between there. Okay, so this one's going to be for Linda, and then I will do Amanda. I'm so proud of Linda. I know how hard it is to get out of a toxic relationship, especially when it seems to be, it's a very karmic relationship. That's how the sense that I get from the relationship, that there were some old karmic wounds that needed to be aha. Okay, so I'll pull an additional card after I've pulled for Amanda and Linda, and then I'll pull for Melissa. Okay, so the card that I pulled was Thinker, number 44, and I did pull it in the protection state. So let's see what our lovely little thinker. I think we know we know what the thinker is thinking, or what the thinker card reflects on. Yes. I think everybody knows what I was going to say there too. Aha, I see. Good morning. I feel like that's Jen. Correct me if I'm wrong. So the essential meaning, we'll do that, and then I'll talk about the protection mode, okay? So the essential meanings: strategy, being analytical and logical. The oracle's message: the ability to reason and strategize is the focus now. Take things at face value and follow the logical path. Your calculations will prove to be correct, for in this moment there is no deeper meaning than what is obvious. Things are exactly as they seem. You have all the information you need. Keep it simple and you will win the game of life you're playing right now. So the protection message, though, is you might be suffering from analysis paralysis. Thinking has its place, but trying to figure everything out logically is not going to work right now. Your conclusions will likely be faulty, and you may act upon false assumptions that will get you in a jam. Give your mind a rest. Do something creative, exercise, or meditate. Soon you'll come to your senses, and an aha moment will bring new clarity. You know how you it's kind of like if you had like a sore spot on your hand, right? And if you pick and you pick and you pick and you pick, it never heals. It's the same thing with your thoughts. If you're thinking, sometimes you don't get the conclusion or the resolution that you're looking for. It's in the absence of that thought when something will go, right? I will definitely pull a card for you, Diana. So the card that I'm going to pull next will be for Amanda, and then I'll pull the additional card that Sham requested. Then I will pull a card for Melissa, and then I will pull a card for Diana. Okay, I'll try to keep on track with that. Does that make sense for you right now, Linda? That maybe you're really going over things in your mind and really stuck in that like thought, and it's bringing more confusion, because the more that you think about it, the harder it is for you to decide which direction or where to go or what to do, because you're just being flooded with thoughts, just in analysis paralysis, as it says, right? So yeah, meditation, trying to stay within your body, sensing your body. Exercise can help with that. Movement, get out in nature, go for a walk. When you're out doing the walk, do something like focus on looking for a specific color, or looking for a shape, or listening to the sound of your feet, or trying to identify what other sounds that you can pick up in your environment. Things like that are a good way to make it more of a mindful walk, focusing just on your breathing. Things like that can pull you out of your head and into your body, and being out in nature is definitely always healing. So this is for Amanda. So the card that I pulled was number 52, Mending. I got this card recently in my individual pull, and I pulled it in protection mode. Okay, so let's read what the essential meaning is in the oracle message. Good morning, Amarpreet. Just sunshine to you. Number 52 is the number of the card as well. But yes, I got this card before too. So the essential meaning: forgiveness, making amends, healing after arguments. The oracle's message: each time we are hurt and allow the hurt to pass through us without understanding and integration, we accumulate an unwanted burden. This keeps us chained to the very things we need to heal: the pain, the memories, the echoes of our resentments, and the arguments that we rehearse over and over. Now is the time for mending rifts, healing wounds, and letting go of old hurts in order to reclaim your power. Now is the time to forgive, to release, to make peace, and to make amends to others. Set yourself free. So the protection message: heartbreak is a strange healer of souls. Heartbreak is a strange healer of souls. Our grief strips away our masks and loosens our tight hold on our separateness, where we view ourselves as I and the world as it. Loss allows us to see ourselves as part of a larger scheme, opening us up to sympathy, empathy, and dependence on others in the moment when we can't hold ourselves together. And it leads us to become one with the greater whole again. Pain and suffering is a part of life, and none of us will be immune to it. Can you view this loss, this pain, this dissonance as a way back to source? Let your sorrow break your heart wide open. You will never be left behind. You are loved now more than ever by Spirit, who does not want you to feel alone. One day you will look back and know this truth. It's a pretty that's a pretty harsh message, right? About allowing yourself to just go into that heartbreak. And I don't know if you're experiencing heartbreak right now. I can tell you how revolutionary my heartbreak was in pushing me forward into my healing journey and allowing me to really integrate a lot of the stuff that I was afraid to integrate before. So I'm going to pull you a card because I'm pulling the additional card for you, Sham. I'm going to pull it from a different deck. I'm going to pull it from the Shaman's Dream deck, and we'll see what we can get to support that message. So this is going to be to support the card that I pulled for you before, to see if it gives you any clarity around what you should do or how you should proceed through that. So let's see if this gives you a good understanding or gives you some direction. So the card that I pulled was another 44. Perfect storm, the courage to step into life. Okay. Oh, better grab the right book. Oh, I did. Thought for a second I grabbed the wrong book. 44, the perfect storm. An invitation to act now, the courage to step into life, sheltering from turbulence. When the perfect storm appears, it cautions you to be ready for an exciting, if turbulent, time. The winds are picking up, and you need to make sure that you are close to the eye of the storm, or you will be buffeted by gusts that may take you far from where you need to be. The key is to remain centered and balanced, and bear witness as the forces build in intensity. Notice how the loose stuff is starting to fly around, and recognize how little of it you truly need. Let go of those thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes that clutter your heart and cloud your mind. Then the storm will be absolutely perfect for you. If you wonder what you might lose during the perfect storm, know that it is those things we are most attached to that are taken first, as if life were trying to unburden us of our righteous self-importance. Let it all go with the wind. The less you resist the change brought by the perfect storm, the happier you will be. Ride the winds to your next destination and embrace the rain or snow. Remember that every time you try to argue with nature, you lose. The perfect storm can also be a call for you to seize the moment. There might be a great opportunity that you need to take advantage of right now. Carpe diem, seize the day. Here, time is of the essence. It may be gone shortly, so do not hesitate. Go ahead, bite off more than you can chew, and take the storm on in its terrifying greatness. Experiencing the fullness of life, you will succeed. So does that help with a little more clarity around the first card that I pulled for you? I hope so. And I'm going to move on to pulling a card for Melissa. This way here, I'll have the opportunity to pull more cards if anyone else wants a card. So Melissa and then Diana. We will go with those in order. So Melissa's card here. And then if anyone else wants a card, just let me know your name and let me know that you'd like one, and I'll pull a card for you. Melissa. You're welcome. All right. Melissa. I'm pulling a lot in protection, but that's okay because that means that the cards are going to get all flipped around. Number 7, to the sea. It's really saturated. It's really hard to pick up because of all the white in it. But it's to the sea, and I did pull it in protection. So let's see what the essential meaning is, and then we'll look at what the protection message is. Number 7, to the sea, and this is for Melissa. Essential meanings: being in flow, returning to source, recognizing how pieces fit together, a natural pattern of events. The Oracle's message: isn't it wonderful when you feel yourself in the flow of life, when events and conditions seem to engage you in a way that is fluid and effortless? This card reminds you that going with the flow is exactly what you need to do right now. Ride the wave of opportunity formed by perfect conditions. Allow trust and faith to guide you forward as you flow like a river into the sea of life. The protection message: When external conditions appear to block every attempt to move forward, there is no hidden message for you to decipher. Like the ocean, the tides of experience ebb and flow. You are in a natural cycle, so know that things will flow again in due course. There is no cause for alarm. Stop resisting and fighting against the situation and learn to flow, even when the tide is going out. Relax and trust in the abundance that will soon be within your reach again. An ancient mariner's saying applies to you now. When fishermen cannot go to sea, they stay home and repair their nets. Oh, sorry that you lost the connection. The card that I pulled for you was number 44, and it was about the perfect storm. So it's, if you want to wind it back, then, or go back, once it's posted at the end, you can always go back and look at it. And being that it's at 35, look at around the 30-minute mark. So that should be fairly close to where I would have been talking about your second card that I pulled for you. Okay. So then the next person that I'm going to pull the card for is Diana, because that card was for Melissa. And then if anyone else wants a card, just let me know. Okay. But let's do this one for Diana. I hope you're doing well, friend. Hello, everyone. I don't know who's saying hello, everyone, but hello. Throw my cards on the floor. Hello. I'll pull a card for you, Connie, for sure. First, we're going to pull for Diana, and then I'll pull for, hi, Cassandra. I'll pull for Diana, and then I'll pull for Connie. Diana. That's that one. Regeneration. Number 46. There. Regeneration. And I did not pull it in protection for one card this morning, not in protection. Number 46. This is a good card. Essential meanings, rebirth, second chances, new opportunities. The Oracle's message. Second chances are available to you now. Whatever opportunities you thought were dead are now revived in a more authentic, stronger form. Whatever you may have perceived as a failure or loss is now replaced by something better and more powerful growing in its place. This rebirth is assured. Step into your new life. Destiny is being fulfilled in wondrous ways. Relationship message. The world is based on connections and relationships. No matter what loss has occurred in the past or even now, death and endings are only illusions. There is life after death, love after loss, and in this moment, you're radiating the regenerative life force energy that makes you irresistible to love in all forms. Now is the time when you see evidence of this new emergence. Can you feel it? Love is rising up to greet you. And I put a post out recently about how we put so much emphasis on romantic love, but there's self-love, there's, platonic love, there's, familial love. So we can get love from a multitude of sources, but society has us in our minds believing that the only way that we are fulfilled is if we have a partner. But there's many of us who have wonderfully fulfilling lives without having a partner there. So the relationship message, it's not necessarily talking about just, romantic relationships. It can be talking about partnerships. It can be talking about, love and friendships, loving, yourself. So all of those different types of love are represented in that. The prosperity message. What happens when it appears you failed at something? Do you see the beauty in the lesson? The understanding that arises from difficulties is like a seed that lies dormant for a time. Then, once it germinates in your subconscious, it pushes through into your awareness. It's becoming apparent that there is a new you, a new start. A more powerful version and form of what you began to plant in the garden of your imagination has surfaced. You are ripe for success. New opportunities, much better than those that came before, appear like gifts from the gods. Now is one of those times when out of seeming loss and failure comes remarkable abundance. Do not dwell on the past because you really are experiencing a rebirth. So I hope that that resonated with you, Diana. I think that that's fantastic. I take every opportunity to look at the things that happen as a lesson or an experience. So when something doesn't turn out right, or how I wanted it to, or how I hoped it had turned out, I try to just what it was the lesson within that experience that I had, or, you know, what did I learn about myself? What did I learn about what I like or what I don't like or what I want or don't want? So this cards will be for Connie. And if anyone else wants a card, just let me know. But please put your name down. Say, it's so-and-so. Can you pull a card for me? Or pull a card and then your name at the end of it. Just something to let me know who's asking for the card. Because I see a lot of, Diana's loving regeneration. Yes, you may. And who's this? That can I get it next after Connie? Is that Cassandra? If it is, that just let me know. Perfect. So Connie and then Cassandra. I'm throwing cards everywhere. You see them popping out there. I think it's telling me just stop shuffling and pick because they're shuffled enough. And I just want this one. So for Connie, I pulled soulmates in protection, which soulmates is number 41. Okay. Yay. Hi, Ryan. Welcome. I will definitely pull a card for you right after I pull for Cassandra. So number 41, soulmate. So I'll read the essential, I'll read the main message, and then I'll read the protection because I pulled it in protection. So essential meanings: harmonious partnerships, love, friendship, companionship, a relationship fostering personal growth. The Oracle's message: you are meant to evolve and transform with the companionship of others. Certain people enter into your life in order to take you to the next level of healing, consciousness, and authenticity. It is always a reciprocal experience, although the results for each of you will vary. You know these people by the strong pull drawing you toward them, and sometimes by a strong aversion to them initially too. Soulmates can be friends for life or remain in your life for only a short time. They always say with relationships, right? A season, a reason, or a lifetime. So you get to figure out which one it is. No matter what, you will be changed in ways you can't possibly fathom now. Pay attention to these people today. They are your greatest gift. So in the protection state, an important relationship brings you to your knees. This is the kind of soulmate who comes with a powerful gift. Your patterns and all your old stories that don't serve your well-being enter into this dynamic so you can heal them. This person is called to a sacred task to help you learn, even if it seems uncomfortable, sticky, or even inconceivable. The question is not, why did he or she do this to me? But rather, what is the gift in this? Look into the mirror. You will only be changed for the better. And I can tell you that my last relationship, there was like a lot of unhealthy stuff in it, like a lot of unhealthy stuff in it. And now that I'm out of it and I've went through the healing journey, I thank him immensely for opening my eyes to who I really am and to opening me up to that level of healing. It was really, really amazing. So, hi. I'm not sure, hey, the one hey that came out. And that maybe that was shams. Okay, so Cassandra. And I hope is it Cassandra or Cassandra? See, it's kind of like the Tanya, right? It definitely won't last forever. Nothing lasts forever. Not even us. I mean, our spirits, yes, but not our physical bodies anyway. That's why it's important to take care of it while you have it. Yes, potato. Potato. All right, so for Cassandra, let me see here. Oh, that's the one. Hi, Amanda. How are you, love? So the card that I pulled for you, if the light will if it'll balance out the is Unfinished Symphony, number 10, but I did pull it in protection. There, you can kind of see the color now when I shade out the light. It must be just too bright in the house and oversaturated. You're welcome, Connie. So number 10, unfinished symphony in protection mode for Cassandra. So the essential meaning: unfinished business, an incomplete lesson, lack of closure, the need to make amends. The Oracle's message: this is a time to tie up loose ends as you near the completion of a cycle or project and mastery of a lesson or skill. Before you can move forward, it is important that you come to terms with where you are now. Practice radical acceptance. Take inventory so that emotional and psychological closure can occur and the answers you will seek will be found. You can't move forward if you are leaving things unfinished. Reflect on what has passed so that the symphony can finally end on a high note. Now, the protection message: when unfinished business casts a shadow over your life, it's a reminder that procrastination is a form of self-sabotage. Absolutely, completely. Self-sabotaging. I've done it. I think a lot of us have done it. It is not in your best interest to stall. Even stumbling forward is better than holding back. Don't overthink things or let yourself get distracted. Just tie up any loose ends and deliver the results. Don't quit before the finish line. Spirit wants you to win, and they do, right? I hope that message resonates with you. I don't know how many times that I used to be really bad with my procrastination and I have to work on it. I can definitely pull a card for you, Amanda. And I had to work on my procrastination. And it's understanding the source of where it comes from. For some of us, we procrastinate because inherently we feel like we're not good enough. So we get into that cycle of, I'm going to delay what I need to be done to the point where it puts me into my trauma response because I'm addicted to those chemicals in my body. So I get into that trauma response, and then I think I'm functioning really, really, really well because I'm loving the chemical feeling. And I try to do it, but I can't do it as well as I could have if I had have prepared and took time and, done it at a better state instead of crunch time. But the underlying value is that if I fail, then I've done what I expected to anyway, which was prove that I wasn't good enough. Right. So it's that underlying, value behind it. There's other reasons why we procrastinate. And some of it is just the addiction to those chemicals, right? We think, man, I work really good in it. That's why a lot of us that were exposed to trauma and grew up in trauma end up in positions or at least having hobbies that are very adrenaline pushing things. So like frontline workers, I was an emerge nurse. I did flight nursing. I did all of these things. Why? It was adrenaline. I mean, I remember saying very clearly, one of my favorite things is when I was put down on the code team, and it didn't matter. I just loved it, and they'd go code blue and I'd get all excited and I'd run down. I'd be like, yeah, there's a code, right? And someone said to me, you do realize that that's the last thing that some people hear before their family member dies. Like, it's not a great. And I was like, yeah, but it's an opportunity for me to use my skills, like a really high skill set in that sense. But anyway, it's perspective too, right? And it's that adrenaline rush. You get addicted to it. So then you do like crazy, I'm going to race cars, or I'm going to, do all of these things that create that stress response in your body, right? Very the hunting response too. Okay, so this one's for Ryan, and then a card for Amanda. So the card that I pulled was number 37, but I did pull it in protection. Oh, these cards are going to get all switched around now, though. All these ones that were in protection mode are now going to be upright unless I throw them on the floor again. I never know where they're going to end up. So never ending story, number 37. So again, it would break down to being a 10, which would then go down to a 1. And a 1 always signifies a new beginning of some sort, a starting of something. So let's see what this message is, though, within the card. So again, I'll do the initial, the essential meanings and the initial message, and then I will talk about the protection message. So essential meaning: self-criticism, the wounded ego, unnecessary dramas. The Oracle's message: There is a story woven through the imperfect fabric of life that tells of hurt and loss, rejection and humiliation, self-loathing and arrogance, and all manner of suffering born of unnecessary dramas. It is the old story whose refrain is that you cannot do this, must not go there, should not say that, lest your world come crumbling down. Today, know that none of that is actually true. The sky is not falling. The voice you hear is just a small, scared, conditioned part of you that got stuck in a lie, wants to protect you, and needs to be seen as a victim. Love that lost piece of you. Fear is all it knows. Distorted guidance is preventing you from being true to yourself. You are not your story, and the narrator is simply the voice of your fearful part, small and vulnerable and easily soothed. In protection, is saying this is a time to avoid drama at all costs, especially when it comes to other people's stuff. Your sensitivity is on overload these days, and you're best served by keeping your distance. Your mantra today is not my circus, not my monkeys. All this drama will pass, and you will carry on unscathed and blameless. Sometimes we try to be heroes and we try to help other people and we try to get involved in things, but we have to know our place, stay on our side of the road, stay in our lane, right? And that is one of my favorite statements is not my circus, not my monkeys. Maybe because I'm a witch and I always think of the Wizard of Oz and like my monkeys, but not my circus, not my monkeys. And I'm not sure if that resonates for you, Ryan. I do hope so. I hope that there's some message in that for you. I think there's message in that for all of us though, right? Just if it's not your drama, stay out of it. You don't need that in your world, right? We don't need that in our world. So Amanda, my love, Amanda. I have so many friends in my life that have been named Amanda. It's like, I don't know, it's all the A's have to get together, right? They say that the more A's you have in your name, the more naturally, like the more you're like, ooh, for that girl, right? Date a girl with one A, ooh, date a girl with two A's, ooh, date a girl with three A's, ooh. So Amanda, this one's for you. Awesome. And for anyone that's joined in late, I do share the audio of this to Spotify under my podcast, Trauma Talk Live. So you can always just listen to the audio version and not see the actual video. And yeah, always follow. Yeah, like blondes, we have more fun. The more A's you have, the more fun you have. Oh, well, I'm definitely taking that as a sign to stop. See, this is how the cards get inverted all the time because I drop them on the floor. That's how we never know what order they're coming up in. All right, for Amanda. Let's see what I'm sensing for you. I actually feel this one. Yeah, very good. Number 28, building blocks. And I'm happy to say I pulled it up in the upright position, not in protection for once. I should shut the curtains almost. Maybe that would help with like that oversaturation that's happening. So number 28 again goes down to 10, which would be a 1. So obvious there is that new beginning, or a start of something. So the essential meanings: strong foundations, a beautiful work in progress. The Oracle's message: you have everything you need to cultivate an extraordinary life. This is a time when your focus needs to be on the foundations you build upon. Your work, your relationships, and your very being are underwritten by your values, ethics, morals, and core beliefs. Are they still true for you? Will they stand the test of time and serve as the solid grounding upon which you construct your life? Now you are making changes that will affect everything in a positive way. Your destiny is truly a remarkable and beautiful design. For relationship message, so partnerships, friendships, all of them get captured in relationship message, not just your romantic. So when you see this card, know that you are attracting new relationships into your life and solidifying the ones you already have by building them on foundations of honesty, humility, clear communication, and a genuine desire to know each other. You are moving toward laying the groundwork for a relationship with the firm footing that will ensure it can withstand any storm. Long-standing relationships are also repaired and strengthened. You and the other person are stronger, wiser, and more powerful together than apart. Thank you, Diana. Prosperity message. So this could be personal development, investments, anything to do with money, your career, job, entrepreneurship, in that area. So the prosperity message. You have everything you need to turn iron into gold in the alchemical process of creating the prosperous life you desire. Now is the time to build on the strong foundation you have already laid for your prosperity. Keep in mind that these building blocks are imbued with the sparkling energy of your intentions. Own your dream and remember that you always have more than enough and you always are enough. So abundance is ever present. Your creativity is divinely inspired and the design for your life is taking shape in service to the world. You are meant for success. Aw, I love that. Oh, yes, absolutely. So I'll do a card for Jess. And thank you, Diana. I look forward to reading that email. And good morning, Jess. I will definitely pull a card for you. Yay. Well, whatever life you're building, build it on, solid values and, alignment with you authentically. And it's going to be a beautiful life. See you soon. Yes, see you tonight at 7 or 9 Eastern. The full moon ritual ceremony in the Divine Feminine Healing Collective is at 9 Eastern, 7 Mountain. I didn't change the time. I just moved and accommodated the new time for myself. So we'll be starting at 9 Eastern. And this one here is for my lovely friend, Jess. I like this one. Number 39, new life. And the interesting, we got three hearts, or like 3 viewers, 3 and a 3 and a 9, a 3 3 3 and a 9. It's 3 threes is a 9. I'm a number person. I've always looked at numbers and see numbers, and I now see synchronicities everywhere though, which is awesome. I like it. West Coast. So if you're talking like right on the Pacific, like Pacific time, it'll be 6 for Mountain, 7 Central, 8 Eastern, 9 Maritime, 10. I think that's how it goes across. And I don't know UK times, but I think that aligns with the States as well. So if you're in the Pacific time zone of like California, British Columbia, along the coast there, it'll be at 6 p.m. If it's a little bit further over, so like Alberta, maybe down through Colorado, in that area, that would be 7. I had to think. 7. So new life. This is for Jess. New life. Essential meanings: birth of new ideas, growth, opportunity, a breath of fresh air, life renewing itself. The Oracle's message: when spring awakens the world, joy and excitement can be felt all around and in your very core. Blossoms burst from trees overnight, birds return home and sing their glorious song, and nature is full of promise. Miracles beckon all of us. This is one of those times in your life when new ideas inspire you and new opportunities bring you hope for seeing your dreams come true. All is well in your world, and you have the energy you need to feel renewed. Allow your heart to fill with enthusiasm. Let your light shine, for this is a time of good fortune. I'm not sure who's putting that on about cyclobilin and stuff like that, but I'm just going to delete that comment. If this would let me, I keep pushing the wrong button. There we go. There. Perfect. Sorry. Now, it's not that I'm opposed to using cyclobilin in microdosing or anything like that within trauma response. I actually did my own experience with mushrooms, and I found it to be an amazing experience. But that's not something that I'm promoting through my stuff. And if anyone wanted to share something like that, I would hope that they would discuss that with me as to whether or not that's something that I would want to share. So that's why I deleted the comment. I've, like there's lots of support around like ketamine assisted therapy and all these other therapies, right? Like it's just, I'm not, that's not for me. So apparently I have a meeting in a half an hour. Back to your card. So the relationship message, Jess. New energy enters old relationships, and new relationships are bursting with the sweetness and vibrancy only encountered when winter gives way to spring. This is a time to connect with others and share excitement, passion, and hearts full of joy. This card is a very auspicious sign with respect to love and partnerships in all forms. The prosperity message. You have every reason to be optimistic right now as things seem to fall in place magically. New opportunities remind you that abundance is available to you. Delight in the bounty that begins to appear in surprising forms. Stay curious and know that your hopes and dreams are being fulfilled. It's as if new life suddenly infuses your projects, work, and creative ideas with a kind of electricity that crackles with exciting potential. Fortune is smiling on you. So I hope that that message resonated for you, Jess. And if it doesn't, let me know. We can always do, if you want, if anyone's interested, we can always do like an actual reading where I do more of a card spread as opposed to just an individual card. And we can look at how things turn out for that. But yeah, that, if you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm sending lots of love to everybody. And so the Divine Feminine Healing Collective, the full moon rituals tomorrow, just to make sure that people aren't expecting to show up today for it. It's actually tomorrow on Tuesday, November 8th. I'll be posting all of the content for that tonight, though. I am still in the competition for that. That's perfect. That I'm still in that competition, the Fab over 40. I've been staying within the group that I'm in a position in fourth position. I think that this one here that's coming is going to bring it down to like top 5. So I do need those votes. I would appreciate it very much. Like I said, and there'll be some posts coming out soon about it, but with the $40,000, I do want to give back to the community. So I am looking at providing my trauma wellness package to 4 people free of charge. And it will be based on need, really, on those that need that help but are not in a position to be able to afford it. And I have some people that I'm thinking of as being those people to participate, but I will be opening it up when the time comes. Like if I do win the competition, I will open it up at that point for people to basically apply for a scholarship for the trauma wellness package. And I have other stuff that I'm coming up with in the next little while, a challenge in my mind, body, spirit, healthy self group, and some other stuff. Oh, and I do have a book that I am releasing. Now, it's not a book on my healing process or on my journey. That's going to come a little bit later, but I have put together a gratitude and affirmations planner. So it'll be released by December. And so I'm just giving some early interest, getting some early interest in that, or letting people know about it a little earlier. But as we go along, I'll be putting out a post with that and showing a little bit of what the journal, the gratitude affirmation planner looks like. That way there, you can get an idea of whether you'd be interested in getting that at the same time. So yeah, yes, I will be having a pre-order for that as well. And the other part, there was something else that I was going to do. Oh, yes. And I was going to offer, so typically my program, just to be completely open and share with that, but my trauma wellness program, I had it over 3 months and the cost was $3,000. And what I've decided to do instead is put it over 6 months, because that lowers the amount that the cost would be each month. And then additionally, I've decided to have the cost lowered again. And that's just because I, more than anything, want to be able to reach target people. And I really just felt in with my intuition about what felt appropriate for that. And I love numbers and repeating numbers, and people might think it's weird to have it at that, but I want to offer it for $333.33. And that's an hour session with me each month, plus all of the recorded education content, plus 5 days a week we would be doing group programming. So it's one individual session with me each month for 6 months. There's a minimum of 3, maximum of 6, and that's dependent upon the person and individual need. And also because depending on the number of clients I have, I can't necessarily guarantee that I can do 6 sessions for each person, but I think that should work. And the other cost that I'm doing is with my 6-month program. If you don't want any one-on-ones with me, I will be offering my group programming. So you would meet in a group format with me 5 days a week, plus have access to the pre-recorded training for $111.11. So it's either 111.11 or it's 333.33. So that's some of the stuff that I've been working on recently. That feels really good with me. So I hope that everyone enjoys that, and there's no need to hide anything about costs and stuff, but you definitely get a lot of value through the 6 months. And at that price, I feel good about it. So then if I feel good about it, I hope everyone else feels good about it. But that's all for my messages for today. I'm going to hop off because I have to check and see what that message was so I can remind myself what meeting I have today at 10:30, because it's always good to know what you're meeting about before you start it. But anyway, I love you all, and thank you so much for joining me. And I hope that the cards really resonated with you. And if you joined late and you want to watch it, you can either watch it on any one of the spaces that it gets shared to, all of the Facebook things and groups and stuff like that. 4, 3, 2, 1. I love it. But you can always catch it on Spotify, because that way you just have to you'd be just listening to the recording. But anyway, I love you guys, and thank you for voting for me for the Fab over 40. If you continue voting for me, I'd really appreciate that. And like I said, if I win that $40,000, I'm going to give at least 4 scholarships out of that. And it's interesting because both the likes and loves and the number of people viewing is 4s right now. And I pulled 2 44s today. So 4 is a really good number for today. Anyway, I love you. Have a great Monday. I feel like it's a fantastic Monday. Bye.